Hey, yo, check it. All right, fam, what is up? Yo, this week is gonna be insane. We have some huge news that is taking the market down right now. Is that gonna affect AMC and GME? I'm gonna break it down. We do have negative beta, but things can affect us, especially if it's certain types of news. Also, the news that we have could bring in margin calls. I'm going to talk about everything we need to know for AMC and GME, SPY, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency. This is your weekly outlook and prediction. Also, Bitcoin making moves, okay? I'm going to break it all down. Let's not waste any more time and hop into charts, facts, data. Let's go. All right, fam, what is up? You are back for another video with Datazero. In this video, we're looking at AMC, GME, SPY, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency. This is your weekly outlook and prediction for stocks and crypto. Let's not waste any more of your precious time and hop into charts, facts, data right about now. Ladies and gentlemen, so the first thing I want to point out here before moving into the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency section is Bitcoin is pushing up. Also, we do have some news that's going to affect the entire stock market, so I'm going to cover it now instead of in just the SPY section because this will be affecting everything. As you guys can see, the U.S. credit has been downrated, okay? So U.S. debt downgrade. This is detrimental to stocks right now. Futures are sliding to the downside, and this will affect the meme stocks. We're going to break it down, what it means for us and what we could expect to see and what I'm expecting to happen based off of this news. So that's why we had to cover that right off at the beginning of this video. So ladies and gentlemen, you guys can see that news came out. Not only did SPY start to drop down, but our beloved GameStop dropped down. Now, I want to show you guys something very, very strange, that AMC did not seem to be affected by that, and Bitcoin is also moving up as well, okay? So this gives me hope that potentially we don't have to see a pullback on AMC, and some people say that I'm favoring AMC and stuff like that. I literally tell you guys what the charts are telling me. Right now, AMC looks like it might outperform GameStop a little bit. GameStop has been outperforming AMC for quite some time. It looks like AMC might start outperforming GameStop here with this current setup. Now, if you look at GameStop here on the macro, and I broke this stuff down in the live stream, so if you want even more details, you can check out the live stream. But GameStop isn't that far away from the blast-off zone. Blast-off zone for GameStop is going to be that $30 to $35 mark. And we are only a few percentage points away from getting towards that $30 to $35 level. Now, AMC, on the other hand, is a lot further away to getting to its blast-off point. And this is why AMC has a little bit more room to run, a little bit. The shorts can afford AMC to run a little bit more than they can afford to let GME run, because GME is so close to the blast-off zone. If they don't keep it away from that $30 to $35 level, it's going to move up. And if AMC starts moving up at the same time that GameStop is around those levels, margin calls will come into play. You have to understand that the same hedge funds are short AMC and GME. So if both of these stocks are pushing up together and getting towards these higher ranges, and the price keeps going higher and higher and higher, then the people that hold those shorts positions are going to get margin called. The banks and everyone are going to call them up, the people that they're getting money lent from, and saying, hey, AMC and GameStop are pushing up. I know you have both of these in your portfolio. Your margin, you need to post some collateral right now, or we're going to have to close this position. So especially with the news of the debt downgrade, margin calls could come into play. Now, I don't want to get people overly hyped. Again, I'm going to call for a squeeze. If I see signs of a squeeze, I'm calling for a rally right now for the meme stocks here on the macro, most likely going into this summer. But if I see some key signs, we could potentially see a massive pump to the upside for AMC and GME. Do not sleep on these stocks. They can be so boring and literally just take off. In fact, just for an example right here, AMC literally blasting off out of nowhere, this 10% move where you're saying, oh, well, that's just 10%. Look at some of the things here AMC has done in the past as well. With this recent 400% move, we literally just start to take off out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. So you cannot sleep on these stocks. You have to expect the unexpected and be prepared for anything. Now, right now, AMC is looking extremely good. We can see RSI is trending up. price is trending down. We also have green MACD here on the weekly time frame as well. I told you guys for the longest time that the 245 was the bottom. I told you AMC would flatten out and correct up in a big way. This is all happening now as we speak. I am going to have to lock in a green week here for AMC, and I'm hoping AMC can help GameStop, because you guys can see here GameStop did pull back a lot more when SPY pulled back, so it's gonna give GameStop a headwind. Plus they're gonna be shorting on GameStop heavily because it is so close to that blast off zone. I'm gonna break down what I expect here for the weekly candle for GameStop, but let me focus here on AMC and break down what we need to see here on the short term. Again, the macro is looking extremely good for a continuation to the upside on both of the meme stocks, and a potential rally here on the macro. We see a constant uptrend. Now AMC is breaking out of this overall falling wedge. You can see GameStop is also breaking out of an overall falling wedge, pushing to the upside. This is bullish for both of the meme stocks. If you go ahead and go to AMC here on TradingView, the falling wedge is a lot more clear. You can also see that we have all of these buy orders down here where we were getting accumulated, and we're starting to move up. What we want to see from AMC tomorrow, okay? I'm expecting we might see some pullback in the pre-market because futures are down, and I'll talk about it in the SPY section, but SPY is probably going to gap down here in the morning, and I'll talk about what I'm expecting to see. But what we want to see is AMC break and hold 295. If AMC can break and hold 295, then we're going to 305. If AMC can manage to get to $3.25 and hold that level, you're going to see this thing start pushing up rapidly. AMC does have a gap fill to the downside, which potentially could get filled at $2.78 all the way to $2.80. We must be aware of this. AMC has support at $2.87. This is where I think if we do pull back, that's where we'll find support, or at $2.80 after filling the gap fill. I'm expecting AMC to have a green week this week, and I think we are going to continue up despite the overall pullback, which I'm expecting in the general market. And if AMC does do this and confirms that it's going to do this, then you can expect things to get really, really crazy. So this week is absolutely huge for AMC. It's absolutely huge for GameStop, and it is absolutely critical for me to see what's going on so I can give you guys more predictions moving in the future. This week is key. Stay locked in this week, and things could get crazy if we could break above $3.25, holding that level. Now, if we did pull back on AMC, don't freak out. RSI is extremely overbought here on the bigger time frames. If we pull back a little bit, that's going to give us some room to cool down and give us more room to run to the upside, so it wouldn't be the worst thing. But right now, AMC is in an overall bullish consolidation, holding the key level of 295. And if we hold 295, you're going to easily get more upside past that $3 level. And again, if we go to 325, expect AMC to start pushing up rapidly. The same way I told you guys, if we held 280, we would get a big move to the upside. We held 280, got that 10% move. If we hold 325, we're going to get a nice move to the upside. Now, let's go ahead and show you guys some numbers, and then we're going to go ahead and move into the technicals for GameStop. Right now, cost to borrow for AMC is 0.75%. We want to see that go higher. It has been going up to 1%. We want to see it at 1% and remain at 1%. The options activity here for AMC, looking for this expiration date. Now, the market hasn't opened yet. This could easily change, but right now is looking bullish. Now, the thing that worries me about GME is the options chain here for the expiration date. And again, this could change as early as Monday morning. Is looking a little bit more bearish as it's heavily filled with puts. Now, calls are outweighing puts, but people are definitely buying puts. GME's cost to borrow is moving up. This is extremely bullish. Cost to borrow at 0.41%. It's moving up. They are shorting GameStop heavily because it is so close to that blast off zone. You guys can see they dumped an extensive amount of shares on both AMC and GME here on Friday. Right now, at time of recording, we have 3.5 million short shares for AMC, and at time of recording, we have 3.8 million short shares for GME. Short interest for GME is sitting at 11.93%. Short interest data is coming out soon. If we see short interest go over 15% here for AMC, that could lead to an explosive move. If shorts get squeezed with anything higher than 15%, that could lead to a big push up. Right now, AMC short interest is sitting at 14.50%. Both stocks have enough short interest for a short squeeze. Now I'm going to go ahead into GME and break down what I'm expecting here for GME. real quickly, and then we'll move into SPY in the overall stock market. So GME did pull back here. I'm expecting if SPY does pull back, that GME will pull back a little bit more. RSI is very, very oversold. I'm expecting GME to find a bottom. I do not think if SPY completely dumps, GME will just completely dump with it. I know that GME has negative beta. It's proven it has negative beta. And we do have some liquidity zones where we would find support. We have a lot of support zones. We have a lot of buy orders where we'd be able to easily find support and push up. And I do believe that hedge funds would accumulate. As you guys can see, we even have more news here for GME stock. Another fund opening up a $5.7 million position. We also have the unusual options activity here in the summer. Even if we do see a pullback here for GME, and I do think we will see a green week. It might be a slight green week. I'm thinking AMC will be able to help GME remain high. But if AMC starts pulling back, that's going to help GameStop get pulled back as well. I don't think if SPY dumps that GameStop will dump. Again, I think we'll find support. But if you guys can't see what's happening, hedge funds are preparing for a big move up. We have this unusual options activity. And so many funds, and I mean so many, are literally buying GameStop stock. Just look at all this stuff. We also have the neutral price target for AMC at $3. Analysts giving bullish price targets to the upside. They're literally paid shills, so you already know the price is going to go up. If you missed that news, there's that news for AMC. And then, of course, more and more funds buying GameStop stock. So this is what we're looking at for GME and AMC. GameStop, I think, is going to find support around $27.50 or $27.30. I don't think we go lower than $27 in my personal opinion. We want to see GME hopefully get up to $30 and break and hold 30 because that's GME's blast off zone. The major support and resistance underneath $30 is $29.25. Right now, GME has support at $27.80, $27.50, $27.30, and $27. I don't think we go lower than that. What I'm expecting for the morning is a drop down. I don't know how far we'll drop down, but I'm expecting us to probably hold support around $27.50. If GME can break above this orange sloping support and resistance, that means the downtrend is ended and we'll probably get recovery. GME RSI is oversold, so I'm expecting buyers to step in, especially if we get more pullback. So this is what we're looking at for the meme stocks. I think things are going to be exciting, and I'm calling for a green week for both AMC and GME. And I did get 3 out of 3 predictions for both SPY, GME, and AMC on the last weekly outline prediction. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Now let's go ahead and move into SPY in the overall stock market, and I'll show you guys what's going on there. And then we'll go into BTC. So SPY, again, I'm going to cover the news real quick. We had the overall downgrade on that credit. Also, as far as data drops, we don't have that many data drops. We only have exiting home sales, and that's going to be on Thursday. It is a major event, but it's not huge. That's going to be at 10 a.m. I will let you guys know when that does come closer. Exiting home sales will cause volatility, but not that crazy. The biggest news that we have to worry about is any development things on the Trump tariffs. And, of course, this credit down rating, which does have futures down right now. So that's probably why SPY will pull back in the morning, what I'm thinking. If we do see SPY pull back in the morning, you could see some in the pre-market. You could see some recovery here in the morning. I don't know how far SPY is going to dump down, but I am expecting it to dump down. We have support here at 584.41, 585.20, 586.40. I'm expecting it to go to about 585.20. That's where I'm predicting, but it could drop lower or could be higher. Those support and resistance that I gave you guys are the levels that we are working with. I need to be live to give you guys the predictions as they do come after that. But as far as what I'm seeing right now, SPY is probably going to be pretty bearish this week, and I'm going to have to go for a red week on SPY. Just like how we broke out of the rising wedge here on the macro, only to come back inside of the rising wedge. You guys can see here we had this rising wedge. We broke out of the top of it, only come back down and drop down. I believe that same thing is happening now. RSI is overbought on the daily time frame. SPY has nowhere else to go. This is going to be where SPY starts to top out. And I told you guys when we crashed down, SPY would come back up to 580. I also predicted this big drop to the downside. Once we found a bottom, I told you guys SPY would come up to 580. Now that we're starting to top out and hit that 580 gap fill, we have all these gap fills to the downside. I'm expecting SPY to start pulling back. I've been extremely accurate on my SPY predictions. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. subscribe. But I am thinking we are going to see a bearish week for SPY because of the overall news coming out, the overall technicals, RSI being overbought. So we're probably going to pull back inside of this rising wedge and eventually break down from that. Now, if we do see a big drop down in the morning and pre-market, right in the morning, don't expect it to just keep dumping down. Normally, if SPY dumps down in the morning, it finds a little bit of a bottom. Then you could see some recovery, which could lead to further downside. So that's how people get shaken. They get people think it's going to go bullish, but then it actually makes a lower high and drops down. I will be live at that time, so make sure you guys like and subscribe. But do be aware of something like this. Is this the potential price action I expect to see for SPY? And I am predicting a red week. Now let's go ahead and move into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and show you guys what's going on there. Also, if you guys are in the Discord, I did put out a potential play for this week. So if you guys are part of the Discord, you guys can check that out. If you want to get involved in the Discord, hit me up on my email, DataZero Official 5. Link down in the description below and comment section. It is $100 for a lifetime invite. Now moving into BTC. Like I said in the beginning of the video, BTC pushing up. Again, BTC has become a place of safety. When things go wrong and for certain reasons, people will start buying BTC. Even though we got a downgrade in our credit rating, you guys can see that we're actually getting a push up here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin making a new local high of 106, and it is pushing back towards that as it is at 105.7. Bitcoin is tracking perfectly with my prediction, and so far, ladies and gentlemen, we have been on point. So Bitcoin, I think we have locked in. As you guys can see here, we have this fractal here, and I'm going to show you guys the fractal on what we're expecting based off of that, and then I'll show you guys the technicals that we have as well. You guys can see we have this fractal, the bull flag that predicted this move up. We also have this falling wedge, which predicts a new all-time high coming for BTC here soon. Also, the fractal is predicting it as well. I do have these price targets here. I think we'll easily reach these price targets by 2026. I think Bitcoin is going to push up, make a new all-time high, and then begin to range. Normally when this happens, that's when altcoin season comes. So I think altcoin season is on its way, and I did predict a altcoin season in the summer of 2025. So it looks like we are on track for that as well. Bitcoin, I think, is easily going to be able to hit that 115 to 125K. When it does, you're going to see key coins like XRP, Cardano, ADA, Ethereum. Those are really going to start to move to the upside. You can see that XRP actually has this overall falling wedge as well. It's breaking out to the upside out of this overall falling wedge, has an overall uptrend. Now, Bitcoin dominance is so high that the fact that Bitcoin dominance is so high, you're going to need to see Bitcoin move before these altcoin moves. If Bitcoin breaks to a new all-time high, expect altcoins to start to go crazy. And if you see Bitcoin start to range above around 110, 115K, around those ranges, that's when altcoin season is coming. Also, we're looking for Bitcoin dominance to come down. If we see Bitcoin dominance start to slip beneath 60%, so around 50%, 45%, that is more keys that is going to be altcoin season. Right now, Bitcoin dominance is sitting at 60%, so we need Bitcoin to make a move up before altcoins are going to make a move up. You guys can see altcoins are responding well. I think Ethereum is very, very undervalued. Cardano, ADA is up, XRP is up, Doge is up. You guys can see here in the overall crypto market across the board, altcoins are seeing very good gains. Right now, I think Ethereum is very, very undervalued. I think Ethereum will push up. Right now, I think Ethereum is actually one of the most undervalued coins in my personal opinion. It does have this macro accumulation here. If it was able to break above 3K and hold that, you could see a nasty push up towards 4.8, and maybe even 5K. And I'm thinking Ethereum will be able to easily hit 4.8 to 5K once it's all said and done. I think Cardano ADA is probably going to go back to like $2, $2.50. XRP could potentially see like $3.50, maybe even $4, especially if things get a little bit more settled up with the whole XRP case. But you guys can see right now Bitcoin is moving up and tracking perfectly with our macro prediction, with our fractals, and we are on track for the crypto market. I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys here on Webull the short-term prediction, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap up this weekly outlook and prediction. But you guys can see I predicted Bitcoin to basically consolidate and push up. We have this overall bull flag. We're pushing out of it right now. We already came back down for the retest and confirmed it as support. So most likely this is the confirmation that we need that Bitcoin is going to push up towards like 108, maybe even 110. The current resistance for Bitcoin right now is 106.6. If you see it break and hold 106.6, you can expect more upside. So things are looking good for BTC, and that means things are looking good for altcoins. Also, this is more proof that Bitcoin will decouple from stocks. You guys can see that futures are falling, SPY is starting to fall, but is Bitcoin falling? No. This is more proof that Bitcoin will decouple as I predicted, and I still think all of my big macro predictions about Bitcoin, AMC, GME, SPY, and everything still are on track, as I think SPY will be making another leg down, Bitcoin will be decoupling, and AMC and GME will be seeing a macro rally and or squeeze. Ladies and gentlemen, this was your weekly outlook prediction for stocks and crypto. If you watched the whole entire thing, thank you so much, because so few people watch the end and it helps me out immensely. You guys can check out the merch store if you want. I'm rocking some of the merch right now. It's going to be linked in the comment section and description. We actually sold some t-shirts this weekend, so I really appreciate y'all on that, and that helps support the channel directly, so thank you guys. And as always, y'all, I appreciate each and every one of you. Leave a like, leave a comment to support for free. If you want to support in a different way, you can come into the live stream, cop some merch, or check out the Discord, which I give exclusive buy and sell signals, technicals, and things that I don't put here on YouTube, and it does pay for itself. As always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. Hey, yo, that was the video. If you found it informative, drop that like, leave that comment down below, hit share to help out. That's a great way to help the channel for absolutely free. If you want to support it in a different way, you can check out the merch store, you can check out my Discord. Those are always to support differently, or you can even drop a super chat on the live stream. And I appreciate each and every one of you, especially everybody watching right now. And if you're watching to the end, thank you, because so few people watching the end, and it helps me out a ton. It helps me with the algorithm. And as always, y'all, thank you for letting me have this job. Have fun, stay safe, please make money. Peace out.